And that's how the theme song goes. Hey, welcome back to C plus. Nope, the Constitutionals. Second week in a row, I've gotten that wrong. Welcome back, Constitutionals. I'm your host, Chad White. This is the, if you didn't know, this premiere podcast for the comedy website, cpluscomedy.com. It's a website. Go there. That's a new tagline. That's a new tagline to the website. It's a website. Go there instead of the one that I haven't used in a long time. Mediocrity at its finest. C plus comedy. It's a website. Go there. Welcome back. This is already off the rails. Welcome back to the C plus. God bless America. Constitutionals. Okay, let's move along. Let's go on to the first topic. Here we go. Okay, so I want to get this off my chest first. I want to do this first. I've all week. This is Monday. It's already Monday. Jesus. For about a couple weeks now, I've been planning on going to a set of concerts that happen to be within the same time frame, within the same week of each other. And this is that week that it's happening right now. So I've already been to two that have already happened. They're wonderful. I'll recap them in a second, but I have maybe two. I definitely have one more to go to on Wednesday, but maybe another one tomorrow, the day that this comes out, which is Tuesday. So, because I'm recording on Monday night. So anyway, first two concerts, I'm going to describe my experience. They were wonderful. I've only been to maybe one concert ever, and that was in college. I visited Athens, Georgia, to see Donald Glover, or the Childish Gambino, perform music from his album Camp. Let me tell you, thinking about it, but it was great. It was great when it happened. But thinking about it now, that music does not really work, 7 years later, as opposed to when it came out, when it was great. It was fantastic music. But anyway, so I decided a month or two, I said, I want to go to a concert. I didn't really say that. I sat down, looked myself in the mirror. I said, Chad, I want to go to a concert. No, I listened to this band. I listen to a lot of indie bands, and I think, man, these indie bands are great. When I write, I listen to indie music, and I think because it's wonderful, because it's not. I can't write to Kanye because it's too heavy, because he has so much to say, and then I can't write to pretty much anyone else. But if I write to some band like Girlpool that nobody knows except for people who know Girlpool, then it feels much better. Right now I'm on Best Coast, and I am missing the Best Coast play tonight with Paramore. Well, before Paramore, they've already got up, and I assume Paramore's up right now, and Paramore's might be about an hour into their set. I'm not a fan of Paramore. I do like Haley Williams. Did not know she contracted the drummer, the bassist, and the guitarist. Everybody else is a contract except for her. Anyway, so Best Coast is great. Go listen to the music. Best Coast, wonderful. Best Coast. All right. Anyway, so on Saturday, I went to Center Stage in Atlanta, Georgia. Drove down there, parked at my work, took a nice Uber, $5 Uber, over to Center Stage by myself. Great, wonderful time. And I saw Misterwives. This is a little indie band. I guess they're well, not huge, but they're bigger. And I went to see them. It was wonderful. It was fantastic. It was this environment full of people who were just ready to sing these songs. The weird part is I'm gonna go ahead. I'm not gonna lie. I don't rightly know the names of the people. It was a Connect the Dots tour, and they said Atlanta was the best city. I'm sure they said it to every city, but Mandy, who is the lead singer, possibly the only singer, because that's all the songs I've heard. I own both the albums, and never heard anything. Never heard any of the other guys sing. I own 3 albums, right? Yeah, 3, because it's 3. Yeah, no, 2. It's the EP. An EP was Reflections. Anyway, so Mandy Lee, great singer, wonderful person. She led this band. They all did such a fantastic job. They got the saxophonist guy up there who also plays some type of synth. They got the bassist. They got the guitarist, and they got this keyboardist. And it is wonderful. It was great. They're an indie pop band. Alternative dance music is what Wikipedia is telling me. And they think 21 Pilots or Panic at the Disco. That's who they've opened for. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. But she got on stage. She led this place full of energy. I was down in the pit. I didn't know where to go. I walked in and I freaked out, and I said, I don't want to sit down. There is open seats everywhere, but there's too many people for me to go. Let me sit in this seat. So I just said, I gotta go to the pit. So there's a huge pit in front of the stage. I sat down in front of, not sat down. No, I stood in the pit, right as the band that was opening up for them, Small Pools. Small Pools? Is that what it's called? I wanted to go ahead and see if it was Small Pools. Small Pools, yes. So they finished, and and now I'm just standing there alone in this sea of people, and it was great. I stood there for 30 minutes. Just me describing. What if this entire podcast is me describing what I saw for 30 minutes? No, there was a guy and his gay friend behind me, and they were talking about their recent Tinder conquest to each other. So the gay guy talked about this dude he went to go see, and that was fine. But his straight friend talked about the deepness of his date's genital area, and I mean deep, as in from finger to forearm. It was really strange. I'm not gonna get. This is a clean show. I'm not gonna get. This is a clean show. I describe how dirty. Anyway, it was not. It was very strange. And I had to stand there and listen to this entire conversation about this guy. It was such a strange thing. Oh my gosh! If I could say some words that I'm thinking right now, it would definitely make the story more clear. But he just described a lot of weird things. But it was great. I had a really good time. Mandy sang, and they did Reflections, which is my favorite Misterwives song. I was really hoping they'd do that. They played a new song, one that I never heard. She said this is a new song, and then everybody just kind of stood in awe and watched. And then she said there's another new song, and then Reflection starts playing, and if people start freaking out, I swear somebody punched somebody behind me, and it was great. I'm pretty sure, 1,000% sure. A lot of people near me, and as did I, we all smelled the marijuana, and I once we started sniffing, everybody turned to basically our right, and we could smell it. It wasn't a vaporizer; it was somebody had lit something. And it was very powerful and very strong. I don't know what happened to that person. They probably didn't get in trouble. So there was that. And then yesterday, which was Sunday when I'm recording this Monday. Yesterday, Sunday night, went to see a bunch of people I went to high school with, a bunch of what people would say, my friends. I went to go see them perform at the same venue. It was so strange. Actually right next door, but it's the same venue, same building. And everything. It was crazy. And I gotta say, it was this great experience to oh my gosh, just to see these people I grew up with, played football with in some cases, hung out with, on the weekends or whatever, and just to see them play music that they made with their own hands and brains and stuff. I'm really good at describing things. So I'm gonna say some names. And this is what you're going to do. There's 22 or 24. I don't know how many subscribers there are to this stupid show. I don't know why you're listening. There's 24 of you. I suggest you go download this music. All right. Cause it's wonderful. It's fantastic. Okay. So, the first band I played, two friends of mine, Suede Cassidy. They were wonderful. I know the guys. They played some nice, good, alternative R&B, I would describe it, or maybe neo punk hip hop. I don't know. It's good. I'll tell you that much. It's very good. It's good. I enjoy it. It's like Khalid meets The Weeknd, but like only the beginning parts of The Weeknd, and some Travis Scott, and that all makes sense. And then I said a quad. I was gonna say quadroon, and that's a racist term from the 50s. A quad, a team of guys. Ism. What they did was they all performed separately, and then two of them featured on one song, or all three of them featured on one song. It was it was amazing how they, and I say this as a fan who's pretending to not be their friend right now. I'm trying to back up at this point and say that this objectively, it was just fantastic just to see all three acts mainly, but to see ISM ism is what I'm gonna say from now on. To see them come out and do 1-1 and then 1-2 and then 3 and then it was amazing. It was great. It was fantastic. So it's basically two rappers with distinct styles. One's kind of faster. If imagine Migos, but they're but Quavo. They all don't have that same three-step rap style. Quavo goes fast. Offset is a very slow, methodical, and then Takeoff is an R&B singer. So imagine that. It's oh god, I can't imagine that. But imagine that. That's how it worked. They did wonderful job. It was great. They set the party off, as did Suede Cassidy. And then moving on to the final group was Genesys Order, I believe, and that was another three people. I only knew one of them. I mean, two of them. I only knew two of them. I didn't know there was a woman in the back. I didn't know her name, but she did a great job too. And everybody on there, they were rap. It was kind of, I would guess, in the vein. They're maybe like ASAP Mob and Odd Future, but only the hard parts. It sounded grungy. It sounded a little disgusting, like you're scraping the walls and stuff, that's not a negative thing to say, but it was wonderful. It was great. I enjoyed myself. I bought a t-shirt, which I never ever do. I love supporting things monetarily, but I don't like buying clothes, but this time I had to. It's a great shirt. It's got the Genesys Orders logo on it. I'm glad to support all of my friends. It's wonderful. I'm getting serious here for a second, but we all grew up in a city that just happened to spawn so many fantastic talents, even if they're not realized yet. There's, sure, a couple of them are already famous. Some people have played football. Some people are in the music business who came out of Roswell, but everybody did a fantastic job. Everybody's doing a fantastic job, and I wish nothing but the best for my friends, because that is wonderful just to see them. I was being present at both of those shows. It was amazing just to, not have to, especially being alone at Misterwives, just to be there and experience this little tiny redhead fireball hopping around on stage with a bassist, a guy playing a saxophone, a guy playing a trumpet, and a guy on a guitar standing on top of a speaker, and just wailing along to the song, or to see these people that I grew up with, that I hit the field with, just doing saying these words and putting them in a more concise manner than I'm doing at this present moment in time. It was great. It was wonderful. And I could not wait to just come and sit down and sing praises as they rapped praises about the world around them. Oh man. Oh my gosh. Can you believe I went to college for writing? And this is why I don't have a full-time job. So anyway, did that. It was great. I'll move along. I have 7 other topics I want to talk about, but they're not really important. Let's move on to the fall TV season. All right, so tonight, Monday, September 25th. Today's the start of the fall TV. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that I'm very tired. I didn't get any sleep this past weekend. It's crazy. I got 0. I don't know what's wrong with my body. Once I laid down, I got home from the Misterwives concert Saturday at like 11, and I laid down. I could not go to sleep until 2:30. I got up. I played a video game. I watched part of the Tree of Life. I watched Ice Age Collision Course. And I couldn't go to sleep. And then at 2:30ish, I started getting drowsy. I know I hit the sack at least 3 o'clock because I woke up the next day at 8. It was bad. And this morning I still went to the gym and I only got 4 hours of sleep. Oh, it's crazy. Anyway, moving on. So the fall TV season started today. And so the shows that premiered tonight were Young Sheldon, Me, Myself, and I, a bunch of new seasons and everything like that. But I'm really more worried about the shows that I have to review. Next week, I've already seen the pilots, but next week are Ghosted and The Mayor. And I will say, I will go ahead and give my early verdict on both of those. The Mayor, which stars Brandon Michael Hall, is that his name? He was on Search Party. Brandon Michael Hall. I'm gonna go ahead and say, yes, Brandon Michael Hall. Wow, Jesus, I've only known that kid. He's older than me. I've only known that guy for a couple of months now, but he was on Search Party. It was Search Party is a great show. Got John Early, Alia Shawkat, and a bunch of other funny. Everybody's great on the show, but he's a guy who's a young rapper, and in his local town, and he runs for mayor, puts his name on the ballot, and he wins. And let me tell you this, and it's the show's produced by David Diggs, created by I don't know who's created by. Anyway, so what I liked about this pilot is within the first 5 minutes, all of this happens. There's no BSing. There's no waiting to the end of the pilot and saying, you got elected to the mayorship, to mayoral. You're a mayor now. It's 5 minutes. He's rapping, and he says, hey, I'm the I gotta go to this debate because I'm promoting my thing, and then people elect him mayor, and it's so good. I'm finished there. I'm not gonna spoil my review because I still have to write it. Moving on. Ghosted stars Adam Scott of you talking you two to me fame. You two talking you two to me, and Craig Robinson. Very funny in that show. Adam Scott, also very funny, and it's a show that I don't want to give away what I think about it. It's okay. I did enjoy my time with it, but it moved extremely fast, and I'm gonna chalk that up to it being a pilot, but moved extremely fast. That has set a lot of things up, a lot of exposition. I mean, when you watch a pilot, you expect exposition. Like in The Mayor, there were a lot of lines like you're a young rapper and you grew up in this town and you want to be the mayor, and that's fine. But but for Ghosted, it was a lot of in your face exposition, and I get, which is fine because I think they're aiming for kind of a Ghostbusters feel, 80s sci-fi movie feel, which they kind of nailed in the pilot with the music and the composition, but that's all I'm going to say about that. So go ahead and watch those shows. I enjoyed it. They were both on Hulu for a very short time, maybe like a week. Yeah. And so Me, Myself, and I, so I haven't seen it yet. I want to watch it. It's been recorded tonight. I will watch it tomorrow. Have the reviews up. I don't know when. And Young Sheldon, which CBS, I know they want to really bank on that Big Bang Theory fame, but I don't know. So there's that, and then Brooklyn Nine-Nine returns this week, and I think New Girl for its truncated season. No, the Mick. It's the Mick because the Mick leads into it, and that's so strange that I know that. And then we've also got Vice Principals. Vice Principals has already been back, and I think, what show is that? What show am I thinking of? Oh, Curb Your Enthusiasm comes back in a couple weeks. I only want to mention comedy shows right now, but Lethal Weapon is definitely one of my favorite TV police procedurals of the last season. It's wonderful. Everyone on that show is great. You got Damon Wayans just acting a fool as Murtaugh. Oh my gosh, that show is so wonderful. Oh, it's so good, so good. Fall TV season is just gonna be outrageous. And I've mentioned this, if you've ever watched News Time, and I don't know why you haven't, because I pimp it all the time on this stupid podcast. This stupid podcast is it's a podcast about prodding cows. Really popping those peas there. But John Landgraf is the head of FX, the TV channel FX, which also owns the sister channel FXX, which was supposed to be just a comedy channel, but they ran out of comedy stuff to air, and now they air a lot of action stuff, which is very true. I've noticed it from the day they started airing things. So, and why is Better Things on regular FX as opposed to You're the Worst being on FXX? It's so strange. So anyway, I don't know, if you're gonna have a comedy channel, just put everything comedy on the comedy channel, and whatever. Anyway, so FX head John Landgraf. That being said, and yeah, why is it land on FX too? That being said, John Landgraf, if you would like to give me a show, I have several ideas, and if you're listening to this, why are you listening to this? I'm sure there's many other things you can be doing with your life. But he's been saying for the past 2 years that we're in the peak TV season, and this year is going to be no different. Last year, I think there were 465. Don't quote me on that. Brand new, out of the box TV shows. Don't quote me on that. On News Time this year. I've already done 3 separate stories on it, each different, and it's great. I love doing News Time. News Time this week is great, but. So yeah, so there's that. So there's gonna be I guarantee there's gonna be way more comedy shows than need to be. I noticed last year that there were too many dramas being made. So now I think they're gonna even out. I guarantee they're gonna start evening out because Fox needs half hours after New Girl ends. It's truncated 8-episode season or whatever. And ABC just cannot stop picking up comedies. NBC needs comedies. And so it's CBS and ABC who are kind of leading the comedy pack. And I think Comedy Central just keeps picking up shows no matter what. And then we got the Paramount Network coming in January, which is going to replace both Spike and Esquire, and because Viacom doesn't know what they're doing. But that being said, heads of Viacom, if you're listening to me, I would love a show on the Paramount Network. I am ready. January 2018, I will have it ready by then. Shut up, Chad. So we are in a peak TV kind of world, and there's just going to be more and more shows, and I think that it's good. It's good for everybody. You know, YouTube Red's going to pick up comedy shows. They already have Rob Huebel's show is premiering sometime soon. True TV is going to pick up shows. Billy on the Street is going to somehow exist at some point, maybe on the web, most likely, because Billy's a very busy boy. If you didn't read the story, Billy on the Street is not going to be a TV show anymore. Billy's too busy acting. He's got to continue to do his stuff. Amazon's probably going to start picking up broader comedy shows instead of shows like One Mississippi, which kind of only relate to a certain group of people who watch Tig Notaro already. You're not going to get new Tig Notaro fans. Oops, hit the mic. Out of One Mississippi. No offense to that. And then Hulu's gonna pick up some more they better. If they don't pick up bajillion-dollar properties from CISO, which is dead, then I'm gonna be so gosh darn peeved. So real peeved, man. So peeved, guys. But they definitely should do that. I think it'll be great. They definitely do. After Mindy Project ends in a couple of months, they're going to need more comedy shows because they only have difficult people. They canceled the Awesomes from Seth Meyers. And Mindy Project's ending soon. Moon Boy, I don't know what that is. This is all off the top of my head, by the way. I'm legit am not looking at a list. Deadbeat's been canceled for about 2 years now, so I can't think of any other half hour. They can pick up Happy Endings. They should pick up Happy Endings. Just saying. I will sell my soul for Happy Endings. I will sell 3 children for Happy Endings for just one more season. It's so stupid. Why would you jump? I would sell my soul and 3 children. Shut up, Chad. Oh my gosh. And so what else is coming this fall TV season? I don't know. Oh, The Good Place is back on. I'm very happy about that show being back. Superstore is going to return. I haven't really watched that show, but I've seen a couple episodes, and everybody's very funny on that show. Every time I've ever seen it, I've laughed. And I think that's, let's see what other fall TV shows. Fall TV shows that are coming to here. We've got a complete list of new and returning shows thanks to TVGuide.com. TVGuide.com, your grandpa's favorite website since the Confederate website. Ooh, boy. Ooh, Chad, look what you did. Okay, so we've got AP Bio starring Glenn Howerton from, what's it called? Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I watch the show every day. I don't know why I couldn't remember the name. So that's going to be a great show. It's got Patton Oswalt and I think Judy Greer in that show. Don't quote me on that one. But that's going to be another half hour on NBC. And then we've got Brooklyn Nine-Nine's coming back tomorrow night. By the Book is a show about, it's going to be a half hour comedy. Multicam. That's what I was going to say. About a guy who's trying to live by the principles of the Bible. I don't know what Champions is. A lot of these shows are mid-season too. So, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend's returning. Oh my gosh, October 13th. I cannot wait. That show is so wonderful. If you haven't seen it, go watch it, please. It's a fantastic show, and I really, truly, genuinely love it and enjoy it, and it's one of my favorites. Fresh Off the Boat returns next Tuesday. Then we got the Goldbergs this Wednesday. We got Great News is coming back on Thursday. That's what I was forgetting. Great News. It's really fun. It's really enjoyable. I really love that show a lot too. iZombie's coming back next year. Jane the Virgin is. This is why CW. Sometimes they do great things. Sometimes they do really really crappy, the worst possible things. They did that. Once they moved, what's it called? Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, just talking about it. They moved Crazy Ex-Girlfriend to Fridays last season. And then this season, they're moving Jane the Virgin to Fridays too. So there's two of their heavy hitter shows. Well, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend is really kind of a cult thing that, only people who watch the show before are watching that show. But Jane the Virgin is probably one of their highest rated shows. And they move it to Friday nights. Why? Because they want to put some other drama up top right after, what's it called? Supergirl. So they move their two strongest female-led and feminist-driven shows, arguably the two most strongest ones in broadcast right now, and probably in cable. I will put my foot to that. And in streaming, I'll put my foot to that too. I'm going to start saying that. And they move them both to Friday night. Those are the two strongest shows on television right now, in any television plate, any television playing right now, and move them to Friday night. And instead, on Mondays, you're gonna have not Jane. They're gonna have Supergirl, and they're gonna have a show called Valor. I think that's what it's called, Valor CW. Yes, it is called Valor, and it is about a woman or something like that. It's a military drama. That's all I know. It's about a woman in the military. And Supergirl, if you know my problems and my quibbles with the DC TV shows, and the CW DC TV shows at that, is that they romanticize them. They make the women very weak, even though they say Supergirl is the most feminist, strongest TV show on the planet of the earth. No, every single episode is her. I like this boy, and I can't do this without this boy liking me, and I can't do this because I'm Supergirl, and I'm so weak and stuff. Every single episode is her saying some form of that, and then her stupid friends and her stupid family telling her that she can do it, and then she eventually saves the day. And that is how every episode goes. Prove me wrong, I dare you. The first season was the best, and then every season after that went downhill. And that's how Glee went, and that's how this show's going. But Jane the Virgin, Supergirl, love them so much. Flash, wonderful. Arrow, very good, but Arrow needs to really tone it down. What's it called? DC's Legends of the Cosmos. Legends of Tomorrow. What did they do? They travel through time. They travel through space. They're like Doctor Who, but for superheroes. That's okay. Kind of wishy-washy. And Supergirl is crap, but I still watch it. Don't know why. Because I want to see this 4-part event that they're gonna have. I don't understand why Black Lightning can't be a part of the universe. Read up on that too. The Black Lightning's in a different universe. I don't know why. Anyway, Kevin Probably Saves the World is a show on ABC. I don't know what it is. I don't think it's not a comedy. I'm gonna stop talking about it. LA to Vegas is another Fox show mid-season. Fox only ordered 2 comedies last season, which were The Mick and something else. The Mick and something else. I don't know. I can't really remember. See, that's the problem. They need to order more half hours. Last Man on Earth returns October 1st, which is next week. And let's see. Life in Pieces, November 2nd. Oh, I love that show so much. It's so nonsensical. It's a show you can turn on and it won't affect your life either way. It won't make it better. It won't make it worse. It just keeps everything. Man with a Plan. Kevin James's show. That's not Kevin James' show, but it's a different show. I thought Man with a Plan got canceled. Marvel's Inhumans. That's a Friday night show. Boy, they do not have any. They're not. They know that show's gonna fail. And let's see, Me, Myself, and I this night. The Mick returns on Tuesday today, or whenever you're listening to this. The Middle returns for its final season next Tuesday. Oh, I'm so sad. Modern Family returns this Wednesday. Then there's Mom, and let's see. There are 3 NCIS shows that are on concurrently. My God, I would be on NCIS in a heartbeat. Yeah, New Girl returns this Tuesday for their truncated season. I wonder how many episodes they're gonna have. Well, I should probably look that up at some point. Let's keep going. Riverdale returns. Oh God, that show. Saturday Night Live is back this season as well. This season, of course, they're back. Saturday Night Live and The Simpsons both return this weekend. Speechless, so wonderful. Go watch it. I will not say anything else. Just go watch it. Returns on Wednesday. ABC has another mid-season show called Splitting Up Together, which is going to come on TV mid-season, which is what I said before. Superior Donuts, it returns in a couple of weeks. Superstore, also a couple of weeks. Gonna keep going down this road, and it's gonna load. Okay, This Is Us is Tuesday. Not caught up on that. Who cares? The Trial and Error is coming back on mid-season. Good for them. I like that show. Oh, Valor, crap. Whose Line Is It Anyway? Is gonna and Will and Grace is coming this Thursday, and then Young Sheldon's tonight. So that's your fall TV preview. I gave all the knowledge on the shows that I knew. This is a very long episode. Wow, good for me. That's what I do. I congratulate myself sometimes. So there's that. And so I want to close this episode out with a very special topic. I was thinking about this when I was listening to the latest episode of Hannibal Burrish's show, podcast, The Handsome Rambler is what I'm going to say. And he was talking to Chris Rock, and I realized that Chris Rock is definitely one of my favorite comedians of all time. And I wanted to do a segment from now on at the end of these episodes and talk about my favorite comedians of all time. And right now, I'm going to start it out appropriately with Chris Rock. Chris Rock is definitely one of my favorite people to ever do anything in terms of, comedy. He's very funny, and I can't believe that I still have not pulled up his Wikipedia page. At the end of this sentence, I pulled it up. It's fine. So Chris Rock is my history with him is I've listened to him since the early 2000s. Let me give you a little just tiny news about myself. I've always had a TV in my room, so I was raised on television. Whereas everybody else was raised on going outside and playing. So, which is probably why I work out a lot. But so I would watch, and my TV was never police, so I would always watch the stuff I probably shouldn't have been watching. Like I watched Chris Rock, for instance. I watched his stand-up specials. I watched Bigger and Blacker way too soon. That came out in 99, I believe. Bring the Pain came out in 96. So let's see. I'm going to look this up. So yeah, Bigger and Blacker came out in 99. I probably saw it when I was in grade school. So maybe 4th or 5th grade. And it was playing on Comedy Central. And then I have never seen his first one. Big Gay Jokes, and let's see, Bring the Pain. I've 100% seen that. Never Scared, and then Kill the Messenger. And Kill the Messenger is the one where he went to 3 different cities. It was fantastic. It was wonderful, and he won Emmys for that. But he went to London, he went to New York, and he went to Johannesburg, up there in Africa. You want to go up there to Africa, in South Africa? You want to go up to South Africa? So stupid, Chad. And he's just had one of the careers that I wish that I'd have at his age. He's a very funny guy. He's always done some weird and crazy stuff, and his television career is amazing. He's been on SNL. He was on In Living Color for 6 episodes, and he had his own TV show, The Chris Rock Show, that he did on HBO. He hosts a bunch of award shows. He's friends with a bunch of other comedians. And I just think that he's definitely, he produced Totally Biased with W. Kamau Bell after FX canceled it, you stupid idiots. But he's definitely one of, and now Kamau Bell has an Emmy. Good for him. I'm so happy for Kamau Bell. Anyway, because of his CNN show. And now he's just touring around, and he's about to shoot another special or something for Netflix or whatever. And he means a ton to me. You never, I don't know if I've ever told the story, but I'll talk about it next week. It's just a story about Robin Williams. And you never know how much a comedian means to you until they're gone. So, anyway, but Chris Rock is definitely one of the most influential comedy people in my life. And then he wrote Top 5, and he directed Top 5. I love that movie so much. It's so great. It's just about, my God, such a good movie. But he's a wonderful human being. I love him. I love him dearly. Chris, if you're listening to this, I don't know why you are, but we should be friends. And I liked Everybody Hate Chris a lot. And Terry Crews is one of the best. So anyway, I'm going to end this episode. It's been too long, and Dallas is currently losing a football match. So against the Arizona Cardinal Birds. I don't know how horses lose to birds. So anyway, we're going to end this out. It was great. If you like this and you like my voice for some reason, good for you. Why don't you head to www.cpluscomedy.com for a whole bunch of other things like news, reviews, features, interviews, and videos and stuff. And, there's a whole bunch of things that you should enjoy that I like. You can also go to our YouTube page, youtube.com/cpluscomedy. I changed it up on you guys. I didn't do the Twitter yet. I do this first. You should definitely go to the Twitter page. YouTube page. Go to the YouTube page, youtube.com/cpluscomedy, and you can watch a whole bunch of stuff. Stuff? I was going to say shows. Stuff. Like the show The Constitutional. Nope. This is what we're recording. The show News Time, which is a weekly news show that I do in my room in front of a black sheet of bedding. Yeah. I don't know why I said that part. I've never said that part before. Go watch it. It's great. This week's episode, it's a weekly show. Hopefully I never miss a week, knock on wood. I haven't missed a week in a couple of years, knock on wood. And it's a great show that it's about. This week's episode. Oh my God, I'm so tired. This week's episode is about you spend hours editing, and this is what comes with it. This is what you remember. It's about oh Jesus. It's about Hulu and Amazon getting all of the 90s sitcoms and streaming them. So Hulu got TGIF this Friday. They're getting TGIF shows, Full House, A Different World, all the good shows that you like. And then Amazon has already had Carsey Werner shows. And so those shows include Third Rock from the Sun, Perfect Strangers. I think that was TGIF. I don't know. Anyway, Roseanne. So just a wide swath of shows. And I go through how those deals came about, or actually rather how the deals worked out after they came about. And then I did an update to a MoviePass story, the MoviePass story that I did from about a month ago. So you should definitely check it out. It's a wonderful episode of News Time, if I do say so myself. Not that many mistakes, so that's pretty good for me. There's also a documentary series called Odd Comedy on there, but I haven't done that in months, and I will get to it. I pray. I've got 2 whole scripts written. I just got to shoot it, and I just got to have time to shoot it. But, sometimes I got to do the constitutionals. Listen, this is going on way too long, so I'm just going to go ahead and say follow us on Twitter at @CPlusComedy. Follow me on Twitter at @ChadBlackWhite. Like us on Facebook. Continue listening to the podcast, and be sure, thank you for... Thanks. All right, this is... Okay. But... Oh, you know what? Hold on. Listen to the end of this episode. I completely forgot. I had an interview with Kurt Brownohler and his wife, Lauren Cook. They have a podcast out called Wedlock. Go ahead and stick to the end of this podcast and listen to part of that interview that I did over the phone, and then go ahead and read the interview, which will hopefully be out tomorrow, maybe Wednesday at the latest. But it's a podcast called Wedlock. It's on the Audible Network. They just talk about their first year of being married. So go just listen to this. Okay, thanks. Bye. What do you hope that listeners take away from the podcast as a whole?
I think it's just like there's just like an endless well of interesting places to explore between a relationship between 2 or more people. I say or more just for the polyamorous people so they don't get mad, but mostly for 2 people. So this is really, we always say it's a show about relationships, and it's not about marriage or anything like that. And the biggest space really is the space in between 2 people. And so I think that there's just so much to be explored there, and I'm kind of excited to do more.
It's a real relatable topic too. Everything we're talking about, we talk a lot about past relationships we had before we got together. We have a very different dating history, which is kind of how we decided we wanted to talk about this, because we were coming at our relationship from two really different places. Kurt's been a serial monogamist for the majority of his life, so he's had like 3 really, really long committed relationships where they lived together and stuff like that. And I was the opposite. I had never lived with anyone before I met him, but I had like 700 sort of much, much shorter relationships. And so, yeah, I feel like all of this is just a great conversation starter. I think no matter who you are, you will relate to some aspect of what we're talking about and sort of feel like, oh, yeah, I know about that, or I felt that way once, or, you know. But I think that's my goal, is just for people to feel like they can relate to this and realize how all relationships and ending of relationships and being alone, all that stuff is, we all share so much. We all have had the same experience at one time or another.